Welcome to the Swank Golf Podcast, a podcast for new golfers, old golfers, and everybody in between. I'm your host, Nadir, and on this podcast, we'll be discussing my journey and others by interviewing golfers of all skill sets that I know and that I meet along the way. Welcome to the Swank Golf Podcast. We got a good show for y'all this week, and I got a real cool guest, a new golfer, but her skills would definitely surprise you. Everybody, please welcome Michaela Hayes to the show.
Hey guys, thanks for having me.
No problem. Thanks for coming. So I want to ask you this. I'm going crazy right now. The weather is killing me. The fact that I can't get out there and play. How's your off season been going so far?
So, this is my first time having an off season. Mm-hmm. And beforehand, I was probably literally golfing at least once a day or every other day. And it's challenging. Yeah. Right. I don't really like it. I feel like I may have lost some of my skills in the process, but it's winter. Yeah, it's winter. You know what they say, that term, they say if you don't use it, you lose it. And I feel that way sometimes. So how long have you been playing? So I officially started May of last year. Okay, May of last year. That's kind of what I mean when I say that her skills would surprise you. Because she just started in May, and I played with you a few times, yes. And you got game. Good times. Yeah, definitely. Let me ask you this: what makes you love the game? I mean, do you love the game? So I'm obsessed.
You're obsessed.
I don't just love it; I'm obsessed. And I think I like it because it's just a challenge. Mm-hmm. I used to be an athlete. I played basketball and softball, mm-hmm. and this is not like any other sport I've encountered before. Right, you can shoot, a pretty decent score one day, and the next day it's completely different. Right. So it keeps you challenged at all times. Right, definitely keeps you interested. So after let's say after a round that doesn't go as well as you would like it to go, what's something that keeps you coming back? I think the biggest thing is that you can have, you could do terrible on hole 8 and then hole 9, you get a par. So I think it's just the aspect of trying to keep positive mm-hmm. throughout the process. And just honing in that, tomorrow isn't going to be the same day as the next day or the next day. Right. So, yeah. Yeah. That's definitely, that's the truth right there. When you first started playing, what was something that might have surprised you about the sport? Like something that you didn't know and you were surprised by it? Something that surprised me is it's actually quite challenging in order to hit the ball straight. Okay, you can hit the ball, right? But trying to get it down the fairway or to the green, that's where it gets kind of sticky. Right, and that's the part I feel for me that got me hooked. Was the hitting the ball. The fact that I couldn't hit it and I thought that I should be able to. Absolutely. Right? And that's the part that keeps you coming back. Yeah. What would you tell someone that's thinking about playing, they're thinking about getting into it, they're on the fence? What's something that you would say? I think in life in general, I'm one of those, I'm like Nike, just do it. That the hardest thing is to literally just kind of jump into something. Yeah. So I kind of go all in, and once I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. I just committed more than I even anticipated, to be honest. Right. But I'm fully committed now. Do you see any benefits, any life benefits, or anything that it brought to your life? Yeah. For one, I've always had a lot of patience. Mm-hmm. And it's about almost kind of like tuning out, because you're going to have a lot of distractions. Sometimes you'll get a phone call, you'll start drinking, and those are all kind of distractions on the golf course that can alter your next, kind of. Yeah. Sometimes you have too much fun, you're partying a little too much, it'll take you off your game. Absolutely. I definitely know all about that for sure. So this was technically your first season. Yeah. Going into your next season, do you have any goals or anything that you're looking forward to, or something to? I think my goal is to really kind of consistently shoot under 100. Mm-hmm. Right now, I'm just a little bit above it. I've shot, in the 90s before. And it's just, I just want to constantly keep challenging myself that I can, all right, now I can consistently be in the 95, and then next I'm going to consistently be in the 90s and kind of go down from there.
Right. And you know what? And every time you shoot your lowest, you're going to always think about those couple strokes that you could have had. And that's another thing too. The fact that you broke 100 multiple times, and you're talking about staying low, and you've only been playing for 7, 8, 9 months or something is definitely awesome. What's your favorite club in the bag? The favorite club to use?
I think I have two favorites. So my driver and my 7.
Your driver and your 7.
Yeah, they never let me down.
Never let you
never let me down.
That's those are two good clubs to be good at. You know what I mean? Because if you can hit that driver, hit the fairway, and then you're like 150, or I don't know how long you hit your 7.
Pulling out the 7 every time.
Right. Boom. Then you're right on the green. And
good old faithful.
And I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen you do it. So I want to know something. You being a woman in the sport, do you play with other ladies often, or?
Yeah, so I haven't got to that point yet.
Mm-hmm.
I find it challenging just because not a lot of women are in the sport.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, not a lot of minorities are either. So I'm working on it. I'm trying to pull in on my friends and trying to coax them and trying to make it fun. Right? If you make it fun or appealing, you're gonna bring people in. So
right. And you mean like golfers, people who are just new to the sport, they might not even want to, might not want to get into it, but might not be exposed to it. Those are the
yeah, exactly. They're on the fence about it. Oftentimes I find a lot of people and myself beforehand. I mean, I heard about golf, but I had no clue about it. And I think just kind of having somebody there to kind of hold your hand a little bit in the beginning goes a long way.
Yeah, that's definitely something. In a couple of my episodes, I talk about that. Like, if you're going to start this sport, having somebody or having a group of people that you can do it with is definitely something that makes it more enjoyable, and it just gives you more motivation to get out there.
Absolutely.
And then it's just fun, the people that you're with. And so do you it's only been a few months or whatever, but do you dive into like your gear or like far as like your clubs and your equipment, and like do you really focus on that much?
Yeah, so originally I started off with a starter pack, tailor-made as far as my equipment. I was like, I wanted the QIs, but the guy who was helping out, he was like, no, start with this first. And I was like, all right. Now, PGA has a wonderful return policy within 90 days. So within 90 days, I was back for those QIs.
Okay. And
I leveled up real quick.
And you leveled up really quick. Just for some of those golfers, you don't have to jump straight up to the QIs.
No, absolutely not. No. I'm one of those people that, I'm like, it's the clubs. I could do better,
Right.
So.
And if you're going to do it, you're going to do it.
Right, exactly. Right? Yeah, I was fully committed.
It's an investment, too, because, your clubs, they can last you 10, 15, 20 years,
Absolutely,
so,
yes.
And if it's something that you're going to be doing, it, why not have equipment and clubs that you're comfortable with and that you know?
Yeah, and it's all, golf, a lot of times it's all about confidence, right? So the clothing that you're wearing, the equipment that you have, that's the biggest thing, I think, when you're starting off.
Do you like the clothing and everything with golf?
Yeah, so I'm really big into, I get a lot of my stuff from the PGA store. I'm really big into Nike kind of wear, and then there's a few other, as far as like streetwear golf companies that have recently came out that's really great. So I kind of just pick and choose. It doesn't necessarily matter as far as the brand. It's just,
right.
I'm a girl, so we're trying to look cute on the golf course.
I understand that. Hey, look, that's a part of the game that I like too. It's like, it just kind of makes it more of a festive event. The fact that I'm getting dressed for it.
Yeah.
And I'm wearing stuff that I normally wouldn't wear.
Exactly.
Kind of just makes me feel like I'm about to go handle some business. So
exactly.
I enjoy that part of it. So have you ever played in other areas, like outside of this area as far as traveling? Only because I did my first trip last summer, and I had a really good time. Have you ever traveled or anything yet?
Yeah, so I've only been to, well, actually, you know what? Technically, I've been to 3 destinations. Went to Cabo this year, golfed there. Some really nice, world-renowned golf courses out there. The scenes were insane.
Yeah.
Comfort stations were amazing.
Okay.
Went to Austin. Got to, golf at a couple.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I never think about Austin for golf, but I think it probably would be. I've only been there a few times, but that sounds cool.
Yeah, and you know what? Now that I'm talking about Dallas. I went to Dallas. I went to golf there and Miami.
You're dodging the winter.
I mean, I look at like if I'm traveling somewhere, I'm gonna bring my golf clubs too.
That's how I am.
We're gonna at least get one.
That's how I am
good
now.
Session in.
My wife knows that the clubs are coming with me no matter where we go. If the weather permits.
Right.
They're coming.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're coming. That's super cool. Have you done any tournaments or anything like that, or look forward to doing any tournaments or anything?
Not yet. So, I heard there's a few coming up. You know?
Look, I find them all over the place. There's a 9-hole course right near my house, and it's a little bulletin board. And like every time something goes up on that board, I grab it. I don't know if I'm going to go to all these outings,
right?
But I'm just really trying to dive into the community.
Absolutely.
The community side of golf is something that I really enjoy. Is that something that you like, or?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't fully got into it because for me, I think my biggest thing starting off is that I didn't want to make a fool of myself. Mm-hmm. I need to be very confident when I went on that golf course that I could, be with, at least, hang with everybody else. I've kind of gotten to that level now. So now, and then plus 2 winter hit. So it's like, there's not really much right now. But
I understand that.
Springtime, we're hitting it hard. All right. We're going to be involved in all kind of golf communities, golf clubs. All right.
There's so many events out there. That's really, really cool. And then especially being a part of something that's, I want to say a movement.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Feeling like you're a part of the movement. What would you tell somebody that 9 out of 10, the people who are on the fence are the people who don't want to make a fool out of themselves?
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Right? So what would you tell the person that says that? Like, hey, I don't want to make a fool of myself.
The one thing I've noticed since I've been on the golf course is that, we make assumptions, right? We see people, they come out with their golf clubs, they look, older. So you're assuming, all right, they've been in this for a while. Mm-hmm. When they start swinging, it says something else. All right.
Yeah.
So I think that just knowing that you're not going to probably more than likely be the worst one out on the golf course.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be others.
And then too, everybody has those bad holes, bad rounds. Yeah. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
And it tells you that everybody is human. And, you don't want to be out there comparing yourself. That's one of the last things you want to do. But when you do see that person that you think is a stick and they make a mistake, it might make you feel a little better.
Right,
so I understand that. But just the thing is that we're all human. We're all human and we're out there really to have fun. And none of us are out there getting paid.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
If you were that good, you'd be in the pros.
Right, right. Yeah, so I definitely get that. So coming up to this season, one of my, I don't want to say short-term goals, but one of my long-term goals is that tournament that I told you that I go to, not tournament, that guys trip. I want to be the best one in the house. These are guys who've been playing, for 20 years, stuff like that. So I got a high mountain to climb.
Right. You could do it.
Yeah. Right. Is there any goals that you want that you're focusing on? I know you said you want to break 100, but something that you're working on specifically, like, I want my driver to get straighter, even though you say your driver's good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Right. I need my putter to do this, or I need something more, more detailed.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I was really kind of focused on my driver, right? Because my driver, once I kind of got my driver down, then I'm to my irons. Now, I think the 2 things that are more challenging for me are my hybrids and my puttings.
Okay.
So, and putting is a big portion of, trying to get that score down that I need. So I think that's going to be my main focus.
Yeah, you get a lot of people get a lot of strokes in the short game. So are you practicing? Do you practice your putting or something like that to get?
I mean, I would like to say that I do, but I don't. I'm gonna keep it real.
Yeah.
It's almost like, oh, you know what? It's just a putt. Like, that's the least amount of my worries, but it's the most.
Right.
And so I think that, when I start to take it serious, we'll see a big difference in my golf game.
Do you find yourself this summer, maybe, or the spring, going to the driving range a lot more, or anything you want to add into your routine?
I think for me that, I was going to the driving range almost every single day when I was first starting.
I mean, you had to. Like I said, I've seen you play, so I know that the swing didn't come from anywhere.
Right. It well, it's natural, but it's not, because
right.
like I said, I played softball beforehand, and the swing is just, I had to decompose everything I knew about how to swing.
Right.
It's not the same. Your body's not, going through the motions the same. So it was challenging.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. Yeah, so this summer we definitely got a lot of golf to be played, and I really want to like bridge the community. So like the people that you know, people that might be on the fence,
absolutely,
we got to get them in and get them to play.
Yeah.
So I want to tell you something that I noticed last time I was at when I was at Chill Moody's nonprofit event. I noticed that all the little girls there, they had great swings. I don't want to say great swings. Let me take that back. I'm taking that back. This is their first time grabbing a club. Compared to the little boys, they had great swings.
Right.
They're fast. They were fast learners. Would you say that this is something that you picked up fast? Like were you surprised?
It's
at all.
I was. I wasn't, because like I said, I kind of felt like, all right, I'm an athlete. Like I could figure this out.
Right.
It's more to that, obviously, but I literally just had this conversation the other day that I feel like women in whole, just because we have a lot more patience, when it comes to certain things, that we're kind of more willing to make sure the technique is right. We're making sure that everything feels good, whereas men are kind of just swinging the club. No offense,
Yeah, we get in our cave. Sometimes we get in our caveman mode,
right? And that's okay.
Swing
that's
club
okay.
Yeah. You know what? That's fine. That's cool. I heard that. Well, I was listening to a podcast, and they were saying that if you want to see a good swing, you want to watch the LPGA because their swings are more technically sound,
right?
Opposed to watching the pros where they're like doing things where your body can't actually do that because you're not a pro,
right? And that makes complete sense.
Makes
complete sense.
Yeah, that's why I'm trying to get like stretching routines and stuff like that, because it's certain things that my body just can't do. I'm not super old, but
right. You're starting to feel it a little bit.
You're starting to feel it. You definitely
especially with
feel
the cold.
It. Yeah, definitely. So. All right. Well, look, I appreciate you hopping on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Like I tell all my guests, we're going to have you back on.
Absolutely.
Once this weather breaks, we're going to start filming on course. And,
that's going to be great.
Yeah, start really seeing what's going on out there. Check out some swings, live. And
you know what? Before you sign off officially, we started a Monday morning invitation.
Okay.
So that's going to be a pretty big thing.
Monday morning invitation.
Yes.
You heard it first. We going to definitely. You already know I'm gonna be at them. I mean, I'm sure I've been at them already.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Low key. Yes.
Yeah, but we're going to definitely get that on. And everybody, please subscribe, share, and like the show. And we'll see you on the next one.
Peace.